Good morning, Riverside. Ready to take on the next week. Hope you had a good weekend given the conditions and circumstances. Hope you're doing okay. Well, let's get started for this week. Couple things to cover first. There'll be a Zoom call this morning at 10 a.m. This call is not mandatory. You could check your email and Google Classroom to see the details, but basically you can sign on to the call and I can help you with any questions you're having regarding login or problems that you have with doing the work that we're going to go over today. Secondly, your Khan Academy questions that I'm going to assign today are due by midnight tonight, 11:59 p.m. They have to be done by. I am available by email or Google Classroom up until 1:30 every day. You can leave an email after that, but it's not a sure thing that I'll get back to you until the next morning at 7. Okay, let's get started. Today's lesson is multiplying a polynomial by a monomial. This question, write it down, and then I'm going to go through the answer step by step. So there's the question that we'll be working on. And just so you know, there's no equal sign here. We are just simplifying. So it's not like we're going to be able to solve for x. We're just going to simplify what you see here. So the first thing you want to do is distribute the 3x, that term, to the binomial that's in the parentheses, in the grouping symbol. So we would go 3x times x, and then 3x times negative 4. So first we're saying 3x times x, which x times x really is x to the first times x to the first, which is x to the 1 plus 1. So 3 times that, because there would be an understood coefficient of 1 right here. 1 times 3 is 3. And you know that this is going to be 3x squared. We'll write that in a minute. Then over here you have 3 times negative 4, which is negative 12. And there's an x, but there's no x over here to go with it, so it would just be x. Then your final answer is 3x squared minus 12x. And those two terms are not in like terms, so that binomial is your final answer, 3x squared minus 12x. So we're picking 3x squared minus 12x, and we're checking, and we can see that we got it correct. Okay, so really what we did was something called property of powers on that one. If we have a to the m times a to the n, okay, we have the same base, so we keep that as our a there, and add the exponents m plus n. Now let's look at multiplying two monomials together. We have 5x to the third times negative 3x to the fifth. Well, like I just showed you, we're going to multiply the two coefficients together, 5 times negative 3, and then we're going to multiply together x to the third, times x to the fifth. That I chose 5 times negative 3 and x to the 3 plus 5. Let's see if we're right. Okay, and that's correct. So now when I do that, I multiply 5 times negative 3, which is negative 15, so it'll either be the first one or the second, or the fourth one. And then 3 plus 5 is 8. So we try that. And that is correct. Okay.
Let's take a look at multiplying polynomials by monomials as sort of a warm-up for multiplying polynomials by other polynomials. So let's look at an example and see exactly how we're going to actually proceed. So here I've got this monomial, and I'm multiplying it by this monomial. What do I do here? What I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply the coefficients together, the numbers together, like we always do, and then I'm going to sort of isolate each of the variables Therefore, they'd have the same base, and then I know what to do. The rule is we add the exponents. So let's think about this and see if this really does make sense. If I want to multiply these two monomials together, I first take the coefficients, 7 and negative 3, and I multiply them, and I see negative 21. Now, what about this? Here I see x squared, and I'm multiplying it by x to the 4th. It's always good to write this out. You know, always my little slogan, when in doubt, write it out. So what is this? This is x times x. That's what x squared means. And what's this? This is x times x times x times x. So how many x's are we multiplying together? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of them. And notice that's the sum of 2 plus 4. So we add the exponents, and I say I have a total of x to the 6th power, a 6th exponent. Now, what about the y? I've got one y here and one y here. When I multiply them, I see y squared. 2 y's being multiplied. And then what about this z to the 8? There's no z to the 8 here, so I don't multiply it by anything. I just keep it here, z to the 8. That's how we actually deal with multiplication of monomials. We just carefully multiply the same bases together by adding the exponents. And then just multiply the coefficients like normal.
All right, here's one for you to try. Okay, so first you do a little grouping. You're going to multiply 17 times 5. You're going to multiply the x's together, the y's together, and the z's together. Then once you put all that together, 5 times 17 is 85. X to the 11th, y to the 11th, z to the 6th. And then that's all you can do. We've simplified, and that is our final result. All right, guys, I'm going to assign some Khan Academy problems. If you have an issue doing them, email me or come on the Zoom conference call at 10. All the particulars of how to get on that call are listed on Google Classroom and by email. So you can come on there and ask any questions you might want to, or if you're good, I want to see those answers in by 11:59 tonight, okay? Thank you. Have a great day.